What's going on with the people out there? You are live here on the Nature Network, man. It's the Nature Show, but this is our Major Mondays version, Major Mondays edition. We got a lot going on. We got Clarissa Shields. We're going to talk that. We're going to talk a little bit of Luka Doncic. We're going to talk NFL draft. Alex Ovechkin trying to break the record, man. We got a lot going on. We got the fellas in here. Y'all know how we do. I'm going to let the fellas introduce yourself. They ain't no different. You know, it ain't a Redskin game, unfortunately, but y'all know it's still real major in the building. So I'm gonna let the guys introduce yourself before we get into it.
No question, no question is major here on Mondays with the guys on the Nature Sports Podcast. Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Big Son here tuning in for the 11th season. That sound good. No, is it the 11th or the 12th? We just went through the 11th.
11th, 11th.
The
This is
12th.
11th. No, this is the 11th. This is the 11th.
Is it?
It
Or
might
we already went through the 11th?
2014, 2015. I think we did 2013, 2014. Might be the 11th.
Yeah.
Check it out and
We,
see.
yeah. It's 2025. Anywho, it's your boy, like I said, it's your boy Big Son. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be here. Glad to bring y'all the latest flavor of what's going on in town. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Point B is on you. Point, you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here. Y'all was breaking up on my side. I'm having connection
Am I
issues.
am I am I
But
clear
yes, I
now?
am here, right here.
Yeah, I can see you now.
What's
You
up?
good. You good. You good. I
Was I
see
supposed
you.
to be
I see
announcing
you.
myself at this point?
Yeah, you good. Go ahead, Point.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Live here on Nature Network, Major Mondays. Glad to be right here with you guys. I'm Point B, man, and here I am, I would say.
Yeah, apologize for the technical difficulty. But yeah, we got Point B, Big Son in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. Point B, he has been doing the Score to Fight. This has been Score to Fight's first season in full, you know. So y'all go ahead and go to youtube.com/score the fight. We're gonna make sure we put that up for y'all in all the links and in all the spots. Make sure we get all those links up for y'all to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, man. Get that subscription. Hit that subscribe button. That way we can keep y'all informed on how we see things going. And so y'all can make some money, baby. You know, y'all want some money. So make sure that y'all subscribe and rock with us. We're gonna let Point B go ahead and start the show off with the Clarissa Shields shindig from last night, man. It was a lot going on. Pat
Um,
Pat was in the building before the fight, apparently. I mean, you know, we had some Pat. Pat
yeah,
was in the building.
last night Clarissa Shields was victorious in a unanimous decision against Danielle Perkins. I mean, she almost knocked her out in the 10th round, but I guess the biggest story of the news was Pat Poose and Clarissa Shields because Pat Poose not only walked her into the arena, he left with her, he walked her out for her fight as well. So
Hold
it
on, hold
looks
on. I'm gonna
like,
step in. Let me step in and get some Pat. Hold on. We're gonna have the whole thing coming up for y'all. This is Major Mondays. We're gonna do it in the major. Wait.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
mean,
Go ahead.
but I still let me give them the boxing news, man. Let me give them the boxing news. For the boxing fans, that was that wasn't the big thing of the night. You know what I'm saying? That was not the big event of the night. Clarissa Shields looking pretty dominant, almost I would say almost or pitching a shutout against Danielle Perkins, who is a bigger opponent. A tough opponent, was undefeated at 5-0 with 2 losses before that night. That was a huge thing. Clarissa Shields looked dominant in the heavyweight division. This is only her second fight as a heavyweight, and she now is the undisputed heavyweight champion. Now she is a 4-time undisputed champion. If you're not talking, she's one of the greatest of all time. I don't know what is. But that was the big news. Pat Poose
The
definitely
real.
did come out, do his thing.
This what happened.
Walk, like I
Hold
said,
on. Let's
walked
let
her
the people see for
out with the
themselves.
ring.
Let's let the people see
Huh?
for themselves. Papoose and Clarissa Shields
Oh
last
yeah.
night, gloating it up. Here we go. We got it exclusive right here on the Nature Network. So let's go ahead and let the people say what they want to see. Hold on. Let's go. Let's go ahead and play the video. You know what I'm saying? Play the video. Play the video, baby. We're gonna play the video. Good Pat. Look at Pat. Oh, look, they got the deer match. Ah, look at that. Pat. Hold on, let me mute that so we don't get a flag. Oh, gotta mute that. Hold on. All right, yeah, let me go ahead. Boom, so we don't get flagged. Oh no, that ain't it. Let me go back. Let me get. Oh, look at Clarissa Shields with the boxing on. Let's run this back. Let's run it back. My bad, y'all. Boom. Here we go. Got Clarissa getting in the limo. Boom. Oh, let me go ahead. Y'all can't see it. Oh, let's get this up the right way. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this up the right way. Let's get this more exclusive. Got Clarissa Shields in the building. Papoose in the building. Look, Pap in the building. He was there to weigh in. He there to fight. Walking her down to the fight. Showed up with her. Walking her down to the fight. Showed up with the girl. Papoose was, look. Papoose. Oh, he came out, rocked with her. I ain't know all that point. You ain't tell us all that. Now she knocked the girl out. There we go, y'all. Enough said. You ain't had to see no more. All right, Big Son, what you got on Papoose and Clarissa Shields? What you got, Big Son?
Personally, you know my views on how I feel about, you know, that. But hey, like what
Let them have it for the man if
what
you
you
have it.
what you expect after she been out here flashing out, you know what I'm saying? Not to say it's tit for tat type of thing going on, but
I
she been out
mean,
here flashing out
look,
with
last
her
week this
dude
ain't news no more.
wilding out, you
This is
know what I'm
old
saying?
news. Yesterday was
But
news. Last week was
I'm just
last
saying
month's
that
news, if you will.
I'm just saying that Clarissa did her thing. It was a good fight and it was a good showing.
Point B, after seeing the extracurriculars, what you got to say?
I mean, that's their business, man. Whatever they doing before the fight, what it was. My job is to analyze what she's doing inside the ring, not what she's doing on the outside of the ring. So, inside the ring, she looked probably as sharp as I've ever seen her look. I mean, she was completely dominant. I'm not gonna hold you. She was like completely dominant.
All right,
I mean,
that's
she
what's up.
also got a
If you
freestyle.
wanna,
You know, if y'all really
yeah,
want to get down to business, she got a freestyle out there talking business.
I don't know about it. I'm not gonna say
that's not
that
on. Nah,
was that wasn't.
that joint came out before the beef. That joint
You
came
know.
out before the little beef. So
Let me
that's I
ask you
don't think that's
something,
the
B.
record of her.
Who is a good fight for Clarissa Shields right now? Who would possibly give her some go?
You hear the crickets, bro?
What you
Right.
say?
You
Who
hear
would
the
possibly
cricket?
give Clarissa Shields some go? Right? Who could possibly be a good match for Clarissa Shields to try to
What right now?
right now?
Nobody. She's the number one pound for pound woman in the fighter in the world. I
So
don't
you
see
don't
it.
got nobody hanging in
No.
there and who would give her a good, let's say who would give her a good fight? Who you think would give her a good fight? Who you got else you got
But
on?
I don't even want to put her in the ring with anybody. Right? I don't know who's gonna be her next opponent. I'm gonna be real. They're gonna have to go find some girl out of nowhere. Cause I'm gonna be real. I look at it like this. At this point, we need to be talking fantasy fights between Clarissa Shields and other people. Like Layla Ali. Will she be able to beat Layla Ali in her
Does
prime?
Layla,
Will
let me
she be
ask you
able to
this. Do you want to see her and Layla get it in?
No, she gonna crumble Layla Ali. And now this is the thing though. Muhammad Ali's ex-wife, not Layla Ali's mother, actually said she wanted to see Clarissa Shields beat Layla Ali.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
wow. This is
because Layla
it's a
Ali's
little
mother
bit
basically
messy.
because Layla
That
Ali's
that
mother
wouldn't
told her
happen.
man.
She
Because
would
Layla
not.
Ali's
She
mother
would
told
not
her
crumble
man
Layla. I'm sorry. She's not going to crumble Layla.
she gonna crumble
Oh
Layla.
yeah, big son.
I'm sorry. She's not
So you
going
got
to
Layla
crumble
winning.
Layla.
You got Layla winning.
So all right, this is my thing. This is my thing. Layla had heavy hitters she fought.
Okay.
Name a heavy hitter Clarissa fought.
Um, she what's her
The girl
name?
she just fought, Danielle.
Gabrielle. I can't think of her name right now. Gabrielle. What's her name? Um,
Danielle
damn.
Perkins. Well, maybe not a heavy hitter, but she was a
Daniel Perkins definitely a heavy hitter. I mean, she was the
yeah.
boogeyman in the women's heavyweight division. You know what I mean? But I'm just being real. I mean, I think Layla Ali is a GOAT. You know what I mean? And in Layla Ali's prime, I would have loved to see that fight. But right now, I think Clarissa Shields, man, is just levels above most women. I don't see there's a fighter being able to beat her right now.
Mm.
Just my opinion.
I definitely don't see her crumbling no Layla Ali. No.
I mean,
Don't see.
bruh, look,
If they laced up, I don't
now,
see her crumbling. If she beats her, she beats her. But crumbling Layla
bruh,
Ali is a lot to say.
she's 29, bruh. She is 29. She's 16 and 0. She only got 3 knockouts. So okay, like realistically, Layla Ali might be able to withstand the whole fight, but it's not gonna be pretty. She's gonna get beat up in that fight, the whole fight.
No. You talking? Oh my, he's talking Layla Ali gonna do beat.
Yeah,
Okay.
Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall is definitely a top-notch opponent. Christina Hammer is another
Layla
top-notch
Ali is
opponent.
47 years old. So I
Yeah,
think that might be a little unfair.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Layla Ali
No,
in
I
her
don't.
prime.
Bro, we just all right. Okay.
She
Have
47.
y'all seen Layla Ali lately?
No, I haven't.
Y'all haven't even seen her.
Yes,
Shorty still
I have.
fit. Y'all tripping.
Yes, I
Let me
have
see
seen her
what I can
lately.
pull
And
up. Let's see
all
what I can
right.
pull up on the major Mondays.
I have seen her lately.
Hey Layla, Big Son saying that girl won't wax the floor with you. And I know you
I
saying the
mean,
same thing to yourself. They tripping if they think that bra going excuse my French. Excuse my language. Take that back. They tripping if they think Shorty gonna wax me. No, she won't.
I think so.
bro, I mean,
I don't
look,
think
she's
so.
29. Like I said, she's 29 years of age.
Hmm.
No, that's Layla Ali is
She's
18
never
years older than her, bro. It's not like Layla
she's
Ali
never
is.
seen a competitor like Layla in Layla's old day. She ain't never seen nothing like it.
I can agree with that. She's never fought a fighter that is as good as Layla Ali was in her prime.
Okay,
I
so
can
what
agree
we're
with
looking at right now is Layla Ali's Instagram. Okay. Oh, maybe Layla Ali trying to say something. Oh, is this her now? Oh no, that's old. That's old footage. That's
no,
old footage.
she look good for her
Hold
age. I
on.
mean, it's not like she look out of shape
Let's
or
see.
nothing.
Let's
No,
see.
bro. Look
Okay,
at
this
her
is
now.
Layla.
I'm telling you, bro. Look at her
That's
now,
her
bro.
now.
She's not
She on the
slouch, bro. I'm
screen.
telling you.
She on the screen now. That's her now.
Yeah.
That's her
Yeah.
right now. This is her
Yeah.
Instagram. This was posted 5 days
Yeah.
ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This her right here.
So
Let me see.
now
Let
what
me
you
see. Is this old? No, this is old. That's 2004. That's how she looked at 2004. Okay, let's see her now. Let's see. Is that her now? Hold on. That's 2002. See, she thought she got a lot of throwbacks on here. Hey, this ain't 2002, Layla. I don't know, Big Son. Nah, she ain't in
Hey,
no
look
Clarissa
at
Shields
her
shit.
in the
I
interview.
don't
You gotta
know.
look at her in the interview when she was talking about even sparring
Let's see
her.
if we can find one.
Yeah.
Nah, this her.
Yeah.
Oh, this what she say she doing right now? That look. Oh yeah, this her right now.
Yeah, bro. What is you
Okay,
saying?
that was when.
What
This
is you
was
saying?
January 13th.
Do that little
She look like she
47
in
in
good.
you?
Definitely for 47. Definitely for 47. Definitely for 47. You know,
47, bro.
definitely for 47.
Really?
So what
Really?
you saying, Big?
47?
Make the fight? Should they make the fight? Make the fight?
Man, do whatever.
Should they make the
She
fight?
ain't waxing my dog. She ain't waxing my dog. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
I don't
Big
know.
Son. Hey, Big Son. I'm telling you, this is the greatest right now, bro.
Hmm.
She's the greatest women's champion of all time. I don't know if I've ever seen Layla Ali in the ring with a 6 foot, 200 pound woman.
What are you talking about? Do you forget the daughters of the Giants and the guys that
Dang.
you forget
I'm
about
saying
George
no,
Foreman
no.
daughter? She fought. You forget about that?
You,
You forget
no, I
about
did not.
Frazier's daughter? She fought, who was huge.
No, I did not. No, I did not. But I'm telling you, big son,
Come
that
on, bruh.
she ain't never fought nobody. Nobody nowhere near Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa
Olympic
Shields
gold
ain't fought
medalist.
nobody near like her.
She has though. I don't know.
No,
Has
she
like
hasn't. Near,
Layla
near
Ali.
Layla,
Not like
if she fought
not like
anybody
Layla.
near Layla, she would have got knocked out. I'm sorry. Anybody near
Bruh,
Layla, she would have
bruh,
got knocked
are
out.
you forgetting, bruh? She was the best woman fighter in the world in her weight class, bruh, because she won an Olympic gold medalist twice, 2 times, bruh. Like she ain't no joke, bruh. I'm just being
I
real.
ain't saying she no joke,
I
but
get,
I'm not gonna put her over Layla. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm not.
I get it, I get it, bruh. I get it, I get it. I
I
get
just
that you
can't do
say
that. I
that, bruh.
can't disrespect Layla like that.
I get that you say that, bruh.
Layla Ali's last fight was in 2007, February of 2007. We talk about a 17-year layoff, bro. I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. In Layla's prime, I would have loved to see that fight. I don't know who wins that fight. I do not know who win that fight because I cannot say that Layla Ali wouldn't have been able to beat Clarissa Shields, or Clarissa Shields wouldn't have been able to beat Layla Ali. I don't know. I
You say in
can't say
prime?
against that.
Did you say in prime?
Prime versus prime. Prime versus
Man,
prime.
you
I don't know who
tripping.
wins that
You
fight.
tripping. You tripping. Layla would have slammed her
Bruh,
out. Layla would have
how?
slammed her out. You tripping.
Bruh,
You are tripping. In Layla's
bruh,
prime? Man.
bruh. In Layla's prime, bruh. I'm
Can we go
saying
to
I
the
don't know
next
who wins
subject,
that fight.
please?
Bruh.
Can we go to the next subject, please?
Layla Ali was
Current
24.
champion, bruh.
She was 24 and 0. That was her record. 24 and 0. So she didn't ever lose.
Right.
She never lost.
Right.
So it is a discussion. It's a discussion. Respectable record. 24 and 0. 21 knockouts too. 24 and 0. 21 knockouts for Layla Ali.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Won the world title in the super middleweight and light heavyweight classes. Defeated Frida Freeman, the daughter of George Foreman. Sorry, Frida Foreman, the daughter of
Mm-hmm.
George Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
Won against Christy Martin. Won 4 out of 4 fights outside of the USA. Yeah. So she was 21 and 0 with 24 and 0, 24 and 0 with 21 knockouts for
And look,
Layla.
look, bro, the thing about it, she was dogging heavy hitters and fighting them multiple times.
Could she have beat? Do you think Clarissa Shields could beat Christy Martin?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Christy was a dog too, though. She was a dog too, though.
Bruh,
And
they
what
wasn't
Layla
even,
do to her? What
bruh,
Layla do to her?
bruh, listen. They wasn't even fighting at heavyweight, bruh.
What do you mean?
Clarissa Shields cleaned out every division on the way to heavyweight.
Bro, she wouldn't have did. All right. That's all I'm saying is she wouldn't have did that with Layla.
I don't know.
That's what I don't care what she did with anybody else. She wouldn't have did that with Layla. Straight up and down. You talking about two different types of animals.
That's a 50-50 fight, bro.
Nah.
I'm telling you,
See,
it's a 50-50 fight.
this is Mayweather and Pacquiao. Okay?
No,
This
bro,
is
no.
Mayweather and Pacquiao. Yes, it is. It's Mayweather and Pacquiao. Straight up and down. In prime, Mayweather and Pacquiao.
She is fighting the best competition at every weight class, bro. I'm
And
not
and
going
what's
like that.
and my girl
I'm
what?
not going like that.
And
I'm not.
what's Clarissa's record? What's Clarissa's record?
16-0.
And how many knockouts?
3.
Okay. End of discussion. End of discussion. My girl
What does
had
that
24
mean?
fights, 21 knockouts. This girl
She's
got
not fighting.
16 fights, 3 knockouts. End of discussion.
Listen,
My girl was
Clarissa
a
Shields.
pure-blooded dog.
Listen. Clarissa Shields
And
is
if she would have
fighting
dogged
world.
Clarissa out in her prime,
Bro, listen,
she would
bro.
have knocked her out.
Clarissa Shields, one, has never been knocked out. So how you
She
keep
would have got
saying?
knocked out by
How you saying
she
she
would
was
have got
knocked
knocked out
out?
by Layla.
Bro, you tripping?
No, I'm not. She would have got knocked out by Layla.
I mean, it is an argument. I didn't know that Layla Ali had 21 knockouts.
21 knockouts, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, you gotta respect that. 24 wins,
I do.
21
I
knockouts.
got Clarissa
That's
Shields over her, and
respectable.
she only got
That's
3
very
knockouts in her
respectable.
career.
That's very
I don't care how
respectable.
many levels she done jump. She got 3
Bruh,
knockouts in her career.
bruh, because she's been fighting only champions. Layla Ali wasn't fighting only champions. She's been fighting
What
only
was
people.
Christie?
She's been
What was
fighting only
Christie?
champions since her first fight, bruh. What are you talking about?
What was Christie?
She only fighting champions, bruh.
What was Christie and what was Foreman?
Bruh,
He
listen.
Rogers named it on the paper what they
Listen, bruh.
was.
Listen, bruh. Her only
Come
fight
on, man.
that was not for a title, bruh. Her only fight that was not for a title was her
But see
very
that.
first fight.
But hold on.
She's fighting
Oh.
top-notch competition,
Do,
bruh.
do we remember
Layla
how fighters
Ali
used to
had
fight?
four.
You
Hold
were
up.
fighting,
Hold up. I'm
even
about
if
to
it wasn't
finish
a
this off.
title fight. You were
Layla,
fighting to
hold
get to the
up.
title fight.
Hold
You
up.
don't just automatically get a title fight.
Hold up,
Come on,
Nicholas.
man.
Let me
Yes,
say
you
something.
do. Yes,
Let
you
me
do.
say.
If you are Olympic
Can
gold
I cut
medalist.
in? Can I cut in with some information? Layla Ali fought 4 champions during her boxing career: Christy Martin, Frida Foreman, Jackie Frazier. Jackie Frazier lied, and Gwendolyn O'Neill. Those the 4 ones. Layla Layla Ali won multiple world titles, including WBC,
Yeah.
WIBA, IWBF, and IBA super middleweight titles, as well as an IWBF lightweight title. So she's won 5 titles in her career.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Clarissa Shields only fought champions, bro. It's a difference.
Guess what? The market ain't the same either.
I get it, bro, but I'm saying, bro, only champions versus a bunch of no names, and you got a couple good people on your resume. She was only fighting the best of each division, bro. Since she only got one fight that went for a title, and that was 1-0.
I still don't care. My dog is my dog.
Right, right. All right, y'all. We've given him enough time.
Yeah.
Let's get to the juice.
Luka
Luka Doncic.
We can't keep going past boxing. I gotta get. Since we're talking boxing, David Benavidez.
Oh yeah.
Successful over David Morrell this weekend, in a really huge fight. Very big implications for Canelo Alvarez fight. He looked excellent in that fight, and David Benavidez is now looking and eyeing at another huge fight coming up next. But Lacey, I want you guys to go watch the Lacey fight from last night because Lacey was disqualified for tackling a man out the ring. So you gotta see that. It's like one of the wildest sports things, in boxing that I've probably ever seen. So now we can go ahead and go to the next spot.
All right. Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to David Benavidez for getting the win this weekend. That was on Score the Fight. Y'all make sure y'all go to youtube.com/Score the Fight to see our broadcast on that. Now let's get to what everybody's been talking about. And in fact, that's what I want to lead with. Is this Luka Doncic? Over the weekend, Luka Doncic was traded at 25 years old, coming off of an NBA Finals run, which they didn't close the deal. They did lose. But at 25 years old, he was traded for Anthony Davis, where the Lakers and the Mavericks swapped spots. Now, just to give y'all some backstory before I get y'all thoughts, I wanted just to give, not y'all, but the fans, all the fans out there listening, just to give you a little bit of backstory. Apparently, right, because this is a lie. Apparently, nobody knew about the trade. That's the first thing. It was under wraps, even to the point to where Danny Ainge, who was also involved in the trade because it was other people traded as well, and we're gonna go over all the details of the trade itself. But apparently, Danny Ainge, who also had players involved in the trade himself, did not know that Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic will be swapped. The Dallas Mavericks coach, Jason Kidd, did not know that Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis would be swapped. Apparently, no one knew until like an hour before it happened. Nobody knew what was going to go down. LeBron claimed he didn't know. I don't know how accurate that was. Apparently, the problem.
LeBron knew.
The
LeBron knew.
reason that Luka is being traded apparently are two things. It's the fact that they say it's some sort of shape thing, like he's out of shape in some sort of way. That's what the word is out of Dallas. That's the first thing. And secondly, they said that Dallas did not want to pay him the supermax. I think would have been like 70 or 80 million or something like that a year. So they didn't want. He's 25. He already took his team to the finals. So they're trying to avoid spending any money or spending that type of money at least on him. And so they traded Luka Doncic away. Dallas fans are devastated. A lot of them are devastated. And we'll go through and we're going to let y'all see what apparently is all these videos going around of all these Dallas fans really, in some sort of feeling some type of way about this trade. So that's the backstory, ladies and gentlemen. What do y'all feel about what's going on and the AD trade and more with it? Let's swing it around.
What was the last question?
What do y'all feel about the trade itself and everything that's gone on in regards to that?
Wow. You want to go, Leo? Because I got a lot.
Me too, honestly. But I'll go.
Okay.
And I'll compact it a little bit. So,
okay.
How I feel about this trade is that this was one of the dumbest trades that I have seen in a long time. Not because Anthony Davis isn't a quality player, not because Anthony Davis is now teamed up with his homie from Kentucky, Kyrie Irving, not because that I feel like anything has to do with Anthony Davis. You just traded away a potential MVP caliber player at the age of 25 because he got out of shape. That is stupid to me. Get him a trainer. Get him some motivation. He is depressed after losing the finals. This is obvious. He's a kid. He's 25 years old. He's depressed. He got to the biggest pinnacle of the NBA that you can get to, and he lost. Okay? And guess what kids do when they lose? They get upset. And guess what? Not just kids, humans, people. We are all human. He got upset and got depressed, and he got out of shape. And now you trade him for a person that is 8 years older than him and does not have the upside that he has. Even though Anthony Davis is a beast, still got some tread left on the tires. But to say I don't want to pay him the supermax, this is bad. This is bad. I mean, let's be real. He's been the only player that he's had that has been able to put butts in the seats since Dirk Nowitzki. Okay? I think this is a stupid trade. I think LA won on this trade big. I don't, however, think that this makes the Lakers go to the finals this year. But it does prolong LeBron James' playing career if he wants to stay. Yeah, that's about it.
My thoughts on it is that this trade is speaking volumes to where the Lakers are looking now. Who's going to be their star player? They can see that LeBron may not be around too much longer, which he shouldn't. I mean, if we can all agree that LeBron's time is coming close to an end, and it should be, I mean, what more can you do in the league that you haven't done already? What else are you trying to prove, that you haven't proven already? You've won a couple championships. You've been to the top. You took it there. You've proven that you can win a championship. You've proven, that you can be on all teams. So you've done that. You've done everything you can do. You got a lot of points right now. You got a lot of double doubles, triple doubles. You got all of that. So, in my opinion, they are looking toward their future. not holding on to the promise that LeBron is going to be around. That's what that trade says to me. Even though losing AD is a big loss, but also a big game for them as well, getting Luka. So, me, honestly, I like the trade, but it does speak volumes to them looking toward their future and keeping their eyes front to where it doesn't compromise them in the end, because sometimes a franchise can hold on too long, Wizards, i.e. the Wizards. They did that with Gilbert. They did it with John Wall. They did it with Bill. So sometimes you can hold on to a superstar too long to the own detriment of your team. So I think it's a good trade.
Okay. I think I'm more with Leo. It was a horrible trade. Would you like for them to trade Jaden Daniels? That's the same as trading Jaden Daniels. To me. Luka's 25, Jaden Daniels 24. He'd be 25 this year. It's the same.
But it's different. The only difference is what that is, Luka has been in the league for some time. You see what I'm saying? He may be young, but he's been in the league for some time. Jaden is just his first year.
Right. Okay.
That's all. That's the only difference.
I'm talking about talent-wise. Talent-wise, age.
No, he does have the talent, and I think it works out for both sides. Like AD gets to play with his guy, and
how does that work out for both sides, bro?
What do you mean? Bro. They're looking out for their right now, and Lakers looking out for their future. That's how I see it.
AD is 33 years old, I think, right?
Right. So how does that look out for Dallas's future, though? What happens to Dallas?
I didn't say Dallas' future. Y'all didn't hear me. Y'all didn't hear me. I said that Dallas is looking out for their right now, and the Lakers are looking out for their future.
How are they looking out? Okay, so what? So let me ask you then, Big Son. What makes this a successful trade? If you went to the finals, right? You went to the finals. You lost with the guy that you just traded away. He took you to the finals. So what is your end game here then?
Hold on.
What is the success?
Don't they got another dog out there?
I'm not disputing that.
What's the other dog name?
Who had a terrible finals?
It won't be the same.
Finals. He didn't show up at all in the finals.
It won't be the same.
No, he didn't show up in the finals. He didn't take him to the finals. Let's be real. We know who took him to the finals. We know who took him to the finals. We know who needed help in the finals to get the job done, who didn't get the help that he needed to get the job done. Like, let's be real. Like, we can't. Don't get me wrong. Kyrie is one of my favorite basketball.
And did they have a big man?
Yes, Gafford.
Yeah.
Yes, they got their big man from us. and so did Boston.
Leo.
Both of them got their
Leo.
Being real, bro.
Gafford ain't Davis.
Bruh.
Let's get real about that. Gafford is not Davis
now.
Gafford ain't Davis. I agree with that.
They got Gafford and Davis, but look at what you lose. Like for the next 10 years, they were set, but they opted out of that. They opted out of being set for the next 10 years. Now they have to go find another Luka, because Kyrie Irving also is in his 30s.
Yes.
That's why I said they're looking out for their right now. They're not worried about the future.
So you don't think
they're not worried about the future?
Busting, right?
You have to understand. Huh?
It's championship or bust, right?
Yeah, they're not worried about the future. They're worried about the right now.
Right. So I'm asking you, is it with the Mavericks? Is it championship or bust?
It's got to be with a move like that.
I got a question, Big Son.
Let me elaborate on this with Big Son for 1 second. So do you think that is too much pressure on them after just going to a finals, losing the top player that got you there? Do you think that's too much pressure on them to be championship or bust right now? Do they have a roster that can win a championship with AD on that roster?
I think so.
Okay.
So do you think that Anthony Davis is as good as Luka Doncic is the question?
I do. I will say I do.
Yeah.
I'll answer that.
He can shoot the three. He can post you up. He can give you a jumper. He on defense, on the boards.
No.
Yeah, and blocking. Yeah, Luka
What
ain't doing that. Luka giving you
I
point,
would
a couple assists. He not doing what Davis doing.
I would give you this. Davis is way better on the defensive side of the ball. I give you
Way
that.
better on defense. He gets boards. The boy averaged like what, 8, 17,
Well,
15
Luka get
rebounds a
bored.
game. Was you getting that? How many was Gavin
Um,
averaging?
Luca
About
Luca's
10, 9.
Luca's only problem is defense, in my opinion. That's his only problem.
But that's what you
Average
need.
Anthony Davis right now is averaging 27, 25, and 11.
Yeah.
25. So yeah, right. And the defense 25, 11, 4 assists a game, 3.4 assists a game. He's ninth in scoring right now, top 10, ninth in scoring, sixth in rebounds.
Mm,
Luka
mm.
Doncic is the LeBron James insurance policy because LeBron James on his way out the door.
They
What
no,
did
no.
I just say? I just
The
said
Lakers
that.
all that now. The Lakers all they're gonna do is build around Luka. We know what their future holds.
Yeah.
How does
Right,
this?
that's what I just said. That's what their Luka pick was.
Yeah.
They are
Let me ask you
securing
this
their
though.
future.
Let me ask you this.
But you
It's a lot of teams who would have broke the bank for Luka. They got one first round out the deal. They could have got 10.
yes. They could have sent it to us. We would have paid them, we'd have gave them everybody on our roster for Luca. And would have
Yes.
been very sufficient for doing it.
So
They
did they get good value for Luka?
yes, they did. Anthony Davis is good value for Luca. If you're gonna trade him.
A lot of people feel he not. You could have got Anthony. You still could have got Anthony Davis and the 10 picks. That's the thing. What a lot of people are saying. They could have gotten Anthony Davis, still got him, and got way more picks.
You said they could have what?
Still got Anthony Davis and got way more picks by adding another team, which they did, and that's who they got their first thing from. They're only that one pick that they got, the first round pick that they got it. But because they were trying to be so secretive, because they didn't want to piss Luka off, which of course, by letting people know he was up on the trade block, they were really secretive. Apparently, didn't let anybody know. And so, in all of that, you didn't get the value that you probably could have got. You probably could have got Anthony Davis and got more picks.
Well, I think Anthony Davis, this is my opinion. If you want to trade Luca for somebody and you're trading him for a superstar, like you trade him for like a Jason Tatum, you trade him for like a young superstar, Lamelo Ball. You know, you don't really trade him for somebody that's way older than him. You know what I'm saying? Now Anthony Davis is not old because I think he only like 33, so he still got 7 years, 6 years at least easy. But like you really, really, really got 10 years plus with Luca if he stays healthy.
I mean,
He's in it.
yeah, you got so much more time with Luka.
Yeah, he's 25, bro. Like he's a kid.
Yeah, I still say that was a good move for both sides, in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now let's move right along. NFL draft, man. NFL draft. Of course we're gonna go over free agency and everything else, but let's talk a little NFL draft first, because I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the Sanders boys, and everything that's else that might happen in this NFL draft. What y'all got on that?
Um, for real. I think it's a couple things gonna go to pass. I do think Cam Ward, unless Cam Ward like goes out there and botches it, at the combine and at everything like that, then I think Cam Ward is a shoe in for the number one pick. I think he's a big quarterback. That's probably what they would love to have in Tennessee. I don't necessarily see in them pick Shador Sanders. I do think that they go quarterback in the event that they believe in Will Levis, which will shake up the draft, I think, quite a bit. So maybe they don't go quarterback. Maybe they say Will Levis is just as good as any of these quarterbacks in this draft. and we're going to ride with him. And so maybe I think the Giants get Shador though.
Okay.
um, if now this is the thing. This is the kicker though. I think that Cam Ward will overtake Shador with the Giants potentially if the Titans don't draft him, which I think he they will.
All right. So what
Uh,
we have here? Go ahead, Big Son. Let me get your thoughts, and then what I got up here right now is ESPN's current mock draft, and let's just see what they got. Miller's picks. It say Miller's predictions, round 1 and 2. So let's see what they got. I'll let Big Son share his thoughts on the NFL draft and things and whatever he want to share on that. And then we'll go into the mock draft. ESPN's current mock draft.
Um, me personally, I don't think that they're gonna like the Sanders. I think that the Titans will draft Sanders because that'll be their insurance policy. Then you're gonna have like the Browns, then the Giants, then the Patriots, and then the I think the Jaguars, the first 5 picks. So those picks, the pick that I'm real interested to see who's gonna fall where. Me, the pick that I'm looking for the most is what's my guy?
Ashton Genty.
Yeah, Ashton Genty. I'm interested to see who will pick Ashton Genty. That's a generational talent. I think whoever decides to pick him will be lucky to have him. I hope we're lucky enough to have him.
Bro,
I
we
But
got
think
to
he can go
I
number
think
one.
he is going to be long gone.
With
yeah.
Saquon's, with what Saquon Barkley did this year, it is a chance that Genty goes number one, in my opinion.
He could.
I don't know.
Oh, he could go number one to Tennessee. I do think he can go number one to Tennessee because of like I said, they might feel like Will Levis. This is the thing. This is the tricky thing. They got Will Levis. Do you feel like Will Levis is better than Cam Ward and Shador Sanders? Yes or no? And that's the answer. That's the question you got to answer right there. That's the question you got to answer. How about y'all? Do y'all think that Will Levis is better?
Um,
I think Will Levis is. I think Will Levis. I ain't gonna say better,
Lev-
but Will Levis is not horrible. He ain't good, but he ain't horrible either. I mean, I don't like the coordinators. I don't like a lot of what they do over there with Levis. I feel like they could do a better job of really. I feel like they could do a better job of really giving Levis just better plays more than anything. And I think that's the problem over there with Levis is that he just don't. He's not running the right stuff. So I think they could definitely do a better job at that.
I also think that we are going to go heavy on edge rusher. A guy who played in the area, Mike Green, he transferred, went to Marshall. So I don't know. He's a good edge rusher, but he's at like number 33. Maybe around that area somewhere, or 35, 38, maybe even. But either him, because he's an edge rusher. We need an edge rusher certified, or maybe the corner Trey Amos out of Ole Miss could be a solid stud on the outside. He's pretty solid. So I don't know what we're going to do at our pick, whether we're going to trade or who we're going to trade with, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that's just something that's going on with the NFL draft. But let me go over these mock draft. Let's go over these mock picks and see what you got going on here. Right now, mock draft, right now, they got Tennessee. Tennessee. Let's go up. Let's go up. Who they got Tennessee picking? Is this the mock draft? Um, this is round one, Tennessee. Oh no, now it's okay. Nah, so they're not giving me the mock draft. We'll go to another one that's available. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. But even in the meantime, let me say, at least for my skins, I would like for us to draft a. I would like for us, at least in the draft, to focus on a wide receiver, maybe, or a safety or cornerback. I think you could add something there. If you can get a middle linebacker to take over for the future of what you have, who can learn under Bobby Wagner, learn this defense under Bobby Wagner. I would like for them to do that as well, if it's something that you could muster. I think we need help on the offensive line. We need some dominant offensive linemen. You know, I really think it's just a whole bunch that you need to do. It's, if you are the Redskins, to try to compete with the Eagles. To try to compete with the Eagles. So I think you really got to kind of square it away and do, everything that you can do in order to, just up it one. So, all right, but we're gonna go to USA Today. USA Today has done a mock draft, so we'll swap to USA Today's mock draft. ESPN's was not available, well, not to me at least. Maybe on ESPN Plus you might get it. I am not that big of an ESPN fan to go and get ESPN Plus, so I'm going to go to USA Today's. Let's see what we got here. Okay, USA Today mock draft. Let's see, I can't figure out who did it. Okay, this is done by Ostley. H-R A. I don't want to butcher the man name. Let's just say Ostley. Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State. NFL.com also has Tennessee drafting Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State. FTN Fantasy has them drafting Travis Hunter first. And the NFL the Pro Football Network has Abdul Carter as the going number one as well. So they don't have them drafting a quarterback. They have them sticking with Will Levis and going to get the guy Abdul Carter from Penn State. What do y'all feel about that?
I mean, I think that can happen. That's why I said it depends on how they feel about Will Levis. Do they feel like Will Levis is really their quarterback for right now? Maybe not of the future, because you still got Arch Manning coming out in a couple years or a year or two. You still got a lot of young quarterback prospects. You also
I
can
think he's
look at
coming out
somebody
this
like
year.
Jalen. Hold on though, who Arch Manning?
Yeah, he might.
No, no, he's not coming
Think he
out this
might
year.
come out this year.
No. Arch Manning is definitely going to start at least 1 year, a full year at Texas. That's why Quinn Ewers is coming to the is in the draft. That's why you got Jalen Milroe. You
Okay.
also got somebody potentially like Milton, Joe Milton. You got a lot of guys that potentially could take that spot. So I think Tennessee is maybe not in a rush. And honestly, maybe Tennessee trades out of that pick for somebody that does need a quarterback. I mean, I
Right.
would. I would.
Yeah, Arch Manning is staying at school. He's
Yeah,
going
Arch
to
Manning is
start.
not. Yeah, he's only a
He
junior,
got
I
an
think.
extremely lucrative NIL deal.
Yeah, he just signed an NIL deal with Red Bull.
You know. All right, let's keep it moving on the mock draft. Go ahead, point. My bad.
Yeah, no. Arch Manning just got a NIL deal with Red Bull. Yeah, so he's gonna
Red
be
Bull.
in
Yeah,
college
yeah, yeah,
football for at least another year or two.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Okay, so with that being said, let's move right along. Big Son, did you have anything to say about Abdul Carter going number one to Tennessee?
Abdul Carter going number one to who?
Tennessee.
To Tennessee. Apparently, they're everybody got them picking out Abdul Carter, not one of the Sanders boys, and not Cameron Ward. I think they should get Cameron Ward. He plays a lot like Steve McNair. I think they'll be fools not to get Cameron Ward. To be
I
honest,
think
I
they
think that's
should,
the
but
right
this the
pick
thing.
for them.
It's do you
That
think
is the
Cam
right pick
Ward is
for them.
better than my thing is do you think Cam Ward is better than Will Levis? If the answer is yes, Cam Ward is better than Will Levis, then you draft Cam Ward. If you think Cam Ward is not better than Will Levis, then what you got with that pick is the option to go get anything else that you might want in the draft, even a Travis Hunter, You get what I'm saying? Or you got the opportunity to then trade out of that spot with somebody like the Raiders, who might want to move up 5 spots, who might want to trade their number 6 spot and give you some more value. So for me, if I'm Tennessee, if I'm not sold
I
on
I
Cam
think
Ward being my guy, I'm probably trading out that pick to give whoever Cam Ward or standard that to come up and scoop up and or I draft and
yeah, but
trade.
I'm still not.
Like I draft Shador
Yeah,
to the Raiders, or trade him to
yeah, but I'm still not. I mean, for
trade.
me, I'm still not.
If you want
I
to
think you're
do
breaking
Carter,
up, point.
listen. If you want to do Carter, right? You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's better
Can you
now.
hear me now? Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
saying if you want Abdul Carter, you don't necessarily have to get him like right off the jump on the first pick. Um, I personally think Abdul Carter might be there at pick 4. Let's say you want to trade with the Giants, or let's I mean not even just the Giants. Let's say you want to trade with like the Raiders 5, maybe. Abdul Carter might not go number 1. Now let's who need to do Cleveland. I think Cleveland's right after them. Do Cleveland need Abdul Carter? No. So he might still be there. You don't have to rush and get him if even if that's the guy that you really want to get, in my opinion, in this draft.
I think you make a
But
good point when saying that.
we can go ahead and go number
I
2.
definitely think you make a good point with saying that. But however, let me say this. I think them looking at Abdul Carter is Tennessee, the Tennessee Titans doing some same old Tennessee stuff. To be honest, I think they should draft Cameron Ward. I think they should draft Cameron Ward. Next, Cleveland Browns are looking at, according to ESPN, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter got Cleveland on the NFL.com. Also, FTN Fantasy has Cameron Ward going to Cleveland. And Pro Football Network also has Travis Hunter going to the Cleveland Browns. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
think
I can see
that
Cameron Wood. I told you he a beast. I can see him going to the Browns.
yeah, I think that Cameron Ward, if he gets past the Titans, he could definitely be drafted by the Browns, which gives the Browns enough time and maybe enough capital to will and deal Deshaun Watson. Um, and because I don't think they keep Deshaun Watson, and or maybe they keep Deshaun Watson, let Cam Ward stay behind. But I think Hunter's a really good potential pickup. I think they're probably gonna go offensive line, to be honest. But that's just me. If I had to guess, I would probably say offensive line. Or the wide receiver McMillan from Minnesota. I think he went to Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Toria, however you say his name. Yeah.
All right. All right. What about you, Big Son? What's your thoughts?
No, I
Oh,
said
you
I
said
think
you could see him
Cameron
going
Ward
to
is a
Cameron
good
Ward.
pick.
Anything else on Cameron Ward
No, that's my guy.
or
That's my
Travis
guy.
Hunter?
That was Ben Sinot's quarterback. If y'all don't know, he quarterback for Ben Sinot before he went to the U.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Number 3, New York Giants all unanimously have a quarterback going to the Giants, so the Giants will have a quarterback this year. Cameron Ward or Shador Sanders will be their quarterback this year. Who y'all got going over there?
Yeah.
How
I
do you
Um,
got I
feel about
got
both
that
of them
happening.
playing in New York?
probably Shador. I don't see Cameron Ward going there because Cameron Ward already took off the board.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what if listen. This is just not in a weird world, whatever. What if Tennessee decides that they are going to get Youngin from Penn State, right? Boom. Let's say the Browns decide, hey, we are going to get Travis Hunter. Boom. Now you got an option whether you want Shador Sanders or Cam Ward, and that could very well happen.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
I agree. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you, Point. If you had to choose, if you, let's say you the New York Giants, you got Cameron Ward and Shador Sanders sitting in front of you. Who you choose?
Um, honestly, I choose if I'm the New York Giants,
Yes.
I probably choose. I probably choose Cam Ward. Um, I think that Shador could fit in New York just as good as Cam Ward. So I'm gonna say that first. But if I'm New York and I got the option to choose one or the other, I think Cam Ward is a bigger, just a bit of a bigger quarterback. I can do some of what um, Buffalo does with Josh Allen with Cam Ward, and I can't really do that with Shador, who is really a pocket passing quarterback. For us to do that, then we would have to make sure that our running back, and I don't know if Tracy is that guy, but we would have to make sure our running back is like a Ashton Gency type of guy. So we got to do a lot for Shador because of his style, not because he's a bad quarterback. And I mean, I think Shador and Malik Neighbors is going to work out if Shador does go there. So, but if I'm them, I could probably do a little bit more offensively because I'm going to need it, to be real, because there's not a lot of weapons over there. Like Wardell Robinson is all right. Neighbors is a legit weapon. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't got a whole bunch of legit weapons. They kind of how we up were last year before we got Jaden Daniels, like going into the Jaden Daniels draft.
What about you, Big Son? Same question. Who you got, Big Son? Same question. Cameron Ward. If you the Giants, Cameron Ward or Shador Sanders?
I mean, Cameron Ward, obviously. I'm going Cameron Ward over Shador.
I kind of like Shador over Cam Ward, to be honest. Because one thing about Shador been in the spotlight the whole time. Cam Ward, it'll be new for him. At least Shador going through the spotlight, he'll be a little bit more used to it. He might not have his father in his ear, but he done been through a lot of stuff in the spotlight without, you know what I'm saying? Like he had a lot of attention on him, even though he had Dion next to him a lot.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm going Cam Ward. And I'm gonna tell you why. I think Shador. I like Shador's game probably a little bit better than Cam Ward's. I probably like Shador's game better than Cam Ward's. However, however, I think that's a lot for Shador. Being in New York, you're gonna be a target. You got a target on you. Um, I think Cam Ward might handle that a little bit better than Shador. So I'm gonna take Cam.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Cam, man. Like Cam, he might not have been in as big of a spotlight, but he's been like the
Nowhere
head
near
guy.
that.
It
I'm with
wasn't
Point
no
that though.
nowhere near, but he has been the head guy, and he's been the head guy in Miami as well.
Let me
You
say
know, a
this.
bigger spotlight than it was in Kansas State, but it wasn't like his team was losing in Kansas State; they were
Nah,
winning.
bro, but it's not the same spotlight as it is being Deion Sanders' kid, bro.
I didn't say it
Let me
was.
let
I
me say
said he's
this.
been the lead guy though. He's been the lead
Business
guy though.
wise.
So he's
But
mature. He's mature in that aspect.
Let me
I'm
say this.
saying it's a different animal, the NFL, bro. And I
And
think
he's
that the one
mature
thing.
though.
Can I
He's
slide something
not
in?
fake.
Go ahead.
Can I slide something in? For this. If I'm thinking about my bottom line, though, if I'm the New York Giants and I'm considering my bottom line, I'm
Shador
going to go
Sanders.
get. I'm going to go get Shador Sanders,
Yeah, because he's gonna
guaranteed,
sell jerseys. He gonna sell
guaranteed,
jerseys out the ass.
guaranteed.
He gonna sell jerseys out the ass. We
You want
already
to
know what
see?
it is.
Are you worried about selling jerseys or creating a winner?
He could be a
It
winner.
might be a little bit of both.
He is a winner. I mean, look, I'm gonna be real. I look at it like this, okay? Shador Sanders, right? Um, he was on a team that he was in the HBCU, right? He was one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks in the HBCU. You get what I'm saying? They went all the way to the championship. He didn't play. They didn't win. Okay. Actually, that was my daughter's freshman year, and NCCU, which was her college at the time, they won. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing is, I got something in the house with all of them player signatures from that year. Okay, they beat Dion in the HBCU bowl, basically. Okay, but the thing about Shador is he goes to now a big league school. You out of HBCUs, you in the big leagues now, right? His first year, 4-13. Okay, which was better than their 1-11 record that they had like the year before, or something like that, right? 1-12 or something like that, right? So cool. They get a little bit better of an offensive line, and he goes off. Okay, they was talking Heisman. You know what I'm saying? With Shador Sanders. Okay, he progressed in a moment where the competition got better. Now, do Shador Sanders do that right off the back in the NFL? I don't know. But I think that with his being in the spotlight, him knowing the competition, him having a dad that knows the game and that does care about his success, he's invested in the success of Shador. Okay, even probably more than any of his other kids. You know what I'm saying? The investment of Shador Sanders is it. You know what I'm saying? So Shiloh may go third, fourth, fifth round, sixth round, maybe he might slip. He might go as early as the third. Maybe somebody see something in Shiloh and say, all right, but Shador is the guy that's going to go in the top 10. So I think he's gonna be successful. And he got had the pressure on him. Going to the right coach matters though. But and I don't think Brian DeBall is the right coach. So I think whoever goes to New York is pretty much screwed. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
be honest. If I was them, if I was Dion, I want my son to slip to number 6, and I want him to go with Pete Carroll in um in Oakland. I mean Oakland, excuse me, in Vegas.
yeah,
That's what I want. If I'm Dion.
yeah, yeah. What I mean,
Don't
what about you, Big Son? Who you choosing? Oh, you said Ward. You said Ward,
Yeah, war.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
We can go to the next one.
let's
Choosing war, guaranteed.
Yeah.
move right along. Okay, so number 4, New England Patriots. They got him Mason Graham, defensive lineman from Michigan, and Territoria
McMillan.
McMillan, the wide
Yeah,
receiver from Arizona.
yeah.
And then they have Will
From
Campbell, the
Minnesota.
offensive lineman from LSU. This is the one that has a
Yeah.
little bit of mix up, a little bit of a disagreement. What y'all got here?
I got Will Campbell if he's still available. I got Will Campbell. They're gonna be looking, in my opinion. I
I
think
got
Drake.
Graham.
I think Drake May is the guy. You get what I'm saying? I think Drake
Oh
May is the
yeah,
guy. If they cannot address that offensive line spot in free agency, and this all depends on what happens in free agency as well too. If free agency could change a lot of things, like Sam Darnold could end up in Tennessee, and that switches a lot of stuff, or Sam Darnold could end up in New York, where that switches a lot of stuff. Now we're not thinking Shador Sanders or Cam Ward. You know what I mean? You got Sam Darnold. You might rock with Sam Darnold for the next year or two, whatever. So if nothing changes too much, you know what I'm saying, on that scale with them earlier picks, I can see uh them going to get a left tackle to protect for them to protect, the guy, Drake May. He does need a receiver though. So McMillan does present another, maybe McMillan as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with the success of Neighbors and Brian Thomas and the Jet and Jamar Chase, who run the Triple Crown this year, you got to consider LSU receiver in the top half of the draft. If first round, if you're smart, you got to. It's been 100% win rate.
I think you
All right, let's
consider
move
a
on. What you
LS.
got, Big Sam? You got
I
anything?
think you consider a LSU lineman. I think it's a
Okay.
lineman that you consider.
But they've hit on receivers though. You can't. We can't deny that
Yeah.
they've hit on receivers. So okay, so let's move right along. Jacksonville Jaguars. They got Will Johnson, cornerback, from Michigan. We saw how Sandstream did. That looked real good this year. Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State. Then you have Abdullah Carter. FTN Fantasy got Carter dropping to number 5. Like Leo said, Leo, you might got some point here. You might have got a point here.
That's right.
Abdullah Carter. There's the next ones in the Abdullah Carter sweepstakes. The Jacksonville Jaguars down to 5 though. And then you got another one who thinks Will Johnson is also from Michigan going to Jaguars.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. Do you follow me now?
Yeah.
So that's why I said if I'm Tennessee, I might got some haggle. You know what I'm saying? I might got some haggle if I'm Tennessee. I could move back to 4 probably comfortably. I can go back if I can give them the I don't know if the Patriots want to trade up, but moving from 4 to 1 might be something they want to do. Now they might have clear board where they can pick whoever they want to pick. It might be Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? They might be like, look, we really want Travis Hunter, man. We gotta go up and get number 1. So
Right. Right.
But go, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You got anything on this, Big Son?
Nah.
All right.
Not on
Move
this.
right along. Las Vegas Raiders. To Leo's point again, Shador Sanders right here. They got ESPN got him dropping to 6, going to the Raiders. Alshon Gentry, Genty from Boise State. They got him going to the Raiders. Will Johnson is the guy's coming up high now. We got to see this Will Johnson guy, man. I might have to look at some film. And then Shador Sanders, also from Pro Football Network. 2 people got Shador dropping to number 6, going to the Raiders.
If he drops to number 6, he doesn't go past number 6. It'll be Shador Sanders.
Okay.
Now, if Shador Sanders is gone, now we got some. Now, like I said, it depends. If Tennessee wants to trade with I'm the Raiders, I'm looking at Tennessee to trade up. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at Tennessee to trade up because then I can at least still get one of those edge rushers that I want. They can go up and get whatever. I can get the edge rusher I want, and they got to give me some more value. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm the Raiders, that's what I'm looking at. If I'm the Raiders, I'm looking to squeeze in. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm the Titans, this is a perfect opportunity to trade back. But yeah, I don't think it goes any difference. If he's gone though, Genty might be a person that they pick because they need a running back just as bad as they need a quarterback. And after the success of Josh Jacobs this year, he had a successful year too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He did his thing with Green Bay this year. So,
Right. All right. So moving right along, New York Jets. They got Will Campbell going to the New York Jets, ESPN. They got Shador Sanders, NFL.com, dropping all the way to 7 to go to the Raiders. So, okay, so NFL.com got Genty going to the Raiders and patching up on Shador. NFL.com got Tyler Warren going to the Jags, the tight end.
Um,
NFL.com then has to territorial. No, they have Mason Graham, and then last they have Cameron Ward going to the Giants. NFL.com, okay, and then they have Travis Hunter going to the Browns. So yeah, this is how they think it's gonna play out. And you go all the way up to 7. They got the Jets getting Shador. They say
uh,
Shador gonna be
I,
in New York, not with the Giants though.
I could see that happening too. I could see. I don't see him getting past the Raiders. So I really don't know. So I'm not really betting on them to get them. And I don't know about Genty going there. Uh, I think that in the event that that happens, the Jets, because I don't know. I think the Jets maybe get somebody like Jalen Milroe or Quinn Ewers or somebody like that. I think Aaron Rodgers is talking about coming back. I don't think he's retiring. Um,
Oh man.
so if he does come back, you at least have somebody that is Aaron Rodgers' replacement on the bench for a year to learn the game, basically. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely, 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 absolutely.
So they could wait to the second round. So I don't know. I don't know. That this is a real I don't know what the Jets are gonna do, to be honest. That's how I look at it right now.
Yeah, yeah. What about Kelvin Banks Jr.? They got him going. That's the first time we heard his name, offensive lineman from Texas. They got him also going to the Jets. Jets beefing up the line. I mean, they are going to get Aaron Rodgers. I think they might go receiver if you're getting
They
Aaron
don't know. They
Rodgers. I
don't need
mean,
no, bro. They do not go. They do not need any receivers, bro. They got enough receivers.
or
They
tight
still got
end, maybe
they still got
tight
add,
end.
they might go tight end. Tyler Conklin played well last year though. So I really don't think they go all I don't think they go offense unless they go offensive
The
line.
Jets. The Jets
Yeah.
are gonna go defensive end. They're gonna get an edge
Yeah.
rusher.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're gonna go defense. Even if it ain't defensive line, maybe it's the best middle linebacker. Maybe it's the best, if it's an edge, they probably can get one of those. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm not sure. Because they could still go offensive line too.
I agree. I agree. Okay, Carolina Panthers. They got Jalen Walker, linebacker from Georgia, going to the Carolina Panthers. Jalen Walker, NFL.com got linebacker from Georgia.
Yeah, maybe.
Fantasy FTN Fantasy has James Pierce, the edge from Tennessee, and Pro Football Network has the NFL. Pro Football, not the NFL Network, but Pro Football Network has Mikael Williams, edge from Georgia. They have them three Georgia guys in the running, according to these publications, and one Tennessee guy. So
Yeah, I
Jalen
mean,
Walker, what y'all got? What y'all got on the Carolina Panthers?
they need so much, bruh, on the defensive side. A linebacker makes sense though. Maybe they can get that
Yeah, they
middle
gotta
linebacker.
they gotta replace Frankie Louvu, and they can have Chin back.
Chin might end up back there too. So it depends. It depends on what they do. It really does depend on what they do in free agency. I think more than anything about who they get.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. All right, so let's move right along. Carolina Panthers at 8. Moving on down. New Orleans Saints. They got McMillan going to the Saints, the wide receiver from Arizona. At 3, 2 of them got McMillan going to the Saints. Who's their quarterback? Oh, Derek Carr. Luther Burton, the third wide receiver from Missouri. And then they got 3 out of 4 got them going to the Saints. McMillan. What y'all got on that?
I actually got Ashton Genty um, potentially going to the Saints from per our conversation earlier. We was talking earlier, and we was talking about who potentially would do what, right? If the Saints got to get rid of Alvin Kamara's contract, right? If you potentially gotta release Alvin Kamara, right? What is the only way people might be okay with that? Ashton Genty.
I agree.
Okay. We let go of a guy that's gonna cost us an arm and a leg and replace him with a guy that could potentially be a generational talent. So I think Genty is a really good pick there, in my opinion.
Let's see who is that. The
Huh?
Saints. The
Yeah, the Saints.
Saints.
No, that's the same thing. Yeah, the Saints.
But if not, McMillan is. I think McMillan might. If he's still in, I think McMillan might be another person that they might consider.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we on the Bears now. Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive lineman from Texans. They got the Bears getting them. Will Campbell, NFL.com, fantasy. Also, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, defensive lineman from Michigan. I think Will Campbell drops to the Bears because I think they need help for Caleb Williams to protect him.
Yeah, I mean offensive lineman. I think they're getting offensive lineman for sure. The
But I
best.
would not rule out them getting a defensive lineman if they could. Because really, with Detroit, what changed that franchise was the drafting of Aiden Hutchinson. So I wouldn't be surprised because Johnson is over there and bringing so many guys from Detroit over there. They could do that.
Um, I think Ben Johnson, because they got all the weapons they really need. I think he knows the severity of how good that offensive line has to be. That's the one thing that they really did not address. They got all the weapons in the world. They just don't have a line. And so I think that they really attacked that in this off season. If they, like I said, it all depends on free agency though. If free agency is where they bolster their line, then maybe. But if not, I could potentially see, yeah, offensive lineman.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. You got the San Francisco 49ers. ESPN has Josh Simmons going to San Francisco 49ers. Ahmad Mimbo, offensive lineman for Missouri, going to the San Francisco 49ers, according to the NFL.com. FTN Fantasy has Josh Simmons also going from Ohio State. That's an offensive tackle from Ohio State. Pro Football Network also has Josh Simmons going to the 49ers. I guess to replace Trent. That means Trent is not going to be there. I don't know if San Francisco has drafted Josh Simmons here, even though it's probably is a good fit.
I think they drafting Jitty.
If Jitty fall there, I think they can get him.
If he falls there, I think they get Jitty. I think McMillan, if he falls, and if all of those people don't fall, I think they probably end up trading out of that spot.
Right.
Unless they absolutely love something because they got their wide receiver. They probably gonna ride it out with Purdy, so they're not gonna be geeking to get a quarterback. Um, you could address the safety position. You might maybe get somebody on the back end, maybe a corner or something like that. Because Taufalanga, however you say his name, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna be gone. He gonna be gone.
Maybe, maybe not. He might not. He might drop.
Nah, he already a free agent, so like he's not. You know
Oh,
what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. All right.
So don't
Dallas
get me wrong, they could
Cowboys.
re-sign him. They could re-sign him.
Dallas Cowboys. They got them getting Matthew Golden, wide receivers from Texas. Tyler Booker, offensive guard from Alabama. Ashawn Genty. That's what Leo said. That's what Point said. Two people got Genty falling to the Cowboys. Oh my goodness. I hope
Yeah,
not. I hope
yeah.
not.
If Genty falls to the if Genty falls to 12, he is definitely going to be a Dallas Cowboy.
I hope
There's no
not.
there's no way Jerry Jones is not going to draft him.
I hope not. We would have to deal with Ashawn Genty and Saquon Barkley in our own division.
Yeah,
Now your defensive ends, who you decide. Matter of fact, given this thought, if you are Washington, you have to think now like they've already drafted them. And you got to start preparing now for that running defense. And the guys you get in free agency got to be, to me, defense on the defensive side. You have to dominate the defensive line now. You got to bring in guys who can dominate. I don't think you got much of a choice. You know, I don't think you got much of a choice. What you got on this, big son? Ashawn Genty going to the Dallas Cowboys.
I wouldn't like that. That means you got
Dallas
double
Cowboys.
trouble in Dallas. I would not like that pick. That means you got double trouble in Dallas. You have to deal with Genty and Dodal. I told you guys about Dodal, and you guys shouldn't have to be told about Genty. Genty, you already known about. He's a dog. He's certified, and I would not like that pick.
Okay. 13, Miami Dolphins. Armand Membo, offensive lineman from Missouri. Kevin Banks Jr., offensive lineman for Texans. Kevin Banks Jr., offensive lineman for Texas. So it looks like the Miami Dolphins is going offensive line.
Absolutely. What else are you going to go? You better protect. You better protect two of the best you can, bro. I would do nothing but draft offensive linemen for the every pick I got.
Yeah.
Oh, offensive lineman.
Yeah. Indianapolis Colts, they got them getting Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. NFL.com got them getting Nick Emmanuel, safety from South Carolina. FTN Fantasy has Tyler Warren also. So it looks like Tyler Warren's going to the Colts.
Yeah, I can see Tyler Warren going to the Colts. They need the tight end. And Tyler Warren is probably the best one on the board.
To the Colts.
He's got to be the best one on the board.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to the Colts for sure.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons. Malik Williams. Mikael Williams, edge from Georgia. Shamar Stewart, edge from Texas A&M. Mikael Williams, another edge from Georgia. And James Pierce. It looks like Atlanta's going to edge.
Yeah, because they got a quarterback. They might go wide receiver if a wide receiver slips that they really like. Because they might need another weapon. I don't know if you really go with Ray McCloud next year as your number 2. I do like Ray McCloud. I'm not saying he's a bad number 2, but you got Drake London. You still got a lot of weapons over there. They do need an edge. Matthew Judon they probably can re-sign Matthew Judon. So, they might not need as much of an edge as you might think they do. But I can see that. Or they might go offensive lineman. Because they're going to have to protect that guy. They're going to have to protect him.
Yeah.
So I definitely can see him going offensive lineman here too.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally. We're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna move on to the next subject, man. I don't want to give them too much too early. Arizona Cardinals. Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas. Mikael Williams, the edge from Georgia. They got him going to Arizona. FTN Fantasy has Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman from Michigan, dropping to Arizona at 16, and Jalen Walker, the edge from Georgia, at 16. Which I got on the Arizona Cardinals and what they plan on doing with this draft based on what we see here.
I think they do need an edge, but I think they might surprise people here. They might go with like a quarterback. They might surprise you with like a Jalen Milroe or somebody like that.
Yes, indeed. What about you, Big Son? What you got?
Who is the pick again?
Arizona.
Yeah, it's Arizona.
I think Arizona. I think their direction should be a wide receiver. If that's what they're, going to do. Right there, maybe the guy out of Texas, Matthew Golden,
Yeah,
be a good fit for their offense. Yeah, with what's our guy name? Marv Harrison Jr.
yeah.
Get it going.
For sure.
I agree.
That's what I think.
Okay, okay, I agree totally. Okay, okay, yes indeed, man. So now that y'all got a peek at everything, what y'all got on the NFL draft overall? Now that y'all got a peek at all the options and everything else that's going on.
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a good draft, and I feel like the running back position um is is gonna it's gonna show up differently than what we think it is. After the success of Saquon, after the Eagles going to the old school, literally running the ball in defense to get to the Super Bowl versus, well, same thing kind of, but not running the ball in Kansas City, but defense, man. So I think defensive picks is definitely going to be high on the board, but I also think the running game is going, running backs going to get they just due maybe this draft.
What about you, big son? What about you, big son? What you got?
What was the question again?
On just overall, now that you got a peek at what everybody kind of might want to potentially do in a draft, what do you have? What do you have on the overall draft overall? As we move into the next subject, what's your draft recap so far based on what you've seen?
If I was them, I probably would be more inclined, like looking at the draft now. If I'm Washington, just looking overall, just talking about Washington in general, I would be looking to jump up a couple spots and grab a generational talent to pair up with what I have already, whether that be on offense, defense, whether that guy is a wide receiver or whether that guy's an edge rusher or whether he's a running back. You have to make the moves now to do that because you're in a position now that good players want to come and play for your team. So you got to align that team that's doing good now with even better players so they can be even better.
I agree totally. I agree totally. I agree totally. So let's move right along. Washington Capitals, man, they are number one in the Eastern Conference. Been tearing things up. What do y'all think what's going on with the Capitals? And why have they been so successful lately? And how far do you think the Capitals can go in this season?
I think it's our year. I think it's our year, man. I think the Great Eight is going to break Gretzky. Going to break Gretzky's record this year, pretty soon, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe really close to the playoffs. I mean, going, So I think that when you got something like that going on in the NHL, breaking Grace Gretzky's record, you know what that means. That means the championship coming on home. Okay, it's got to be the storyline. And the storyline this year is for Alex Ovechkin to get number two. He going to get another one before he retire. And this is his year to get number two.
You think this the year for us to get number two? I know I'm not denying it, but you think this is actually the year for us to get number two?
Yeah. hmm If listen now, it's all predicated on if he breaks the goal record. If he break the goal record, I think he's 20 away, something like that. If he breaks the goal record, then yes, because now that's the storyline. You know, you can't be the greatest all-time goal scorer and only have one Stanley Cup. He gonna get his second, and it's the year. And they playing with that energy. You know what I mean? They playing with that championship energy.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Um, totally agree. Totally agree. So, what about you, big son? That was your thought.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Okay, okay. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, for me, I'm gonna say this: the Washington Capitals have already reached the mountaintop with Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin, he's still here. The record is all in play. I wouldn't mind seeing Alex get a second. I think that would put him in elite category in an elite company. He's already in elite company with his own accomplishment, but not really as the team. So I would love to see Alex Ovechkin slide in there and get him a second ring with the Washington Capitals. And not, I wouldn't mind having a parade this year since they robbed the Redskins of the parade we were supposed to have, in my opinion. So I will be pulling for the Capitals, trying to get them in as well. That way we can get one this year, if nothing else. You know. All right, so we're gonna move right along to Alex Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin. Um, Alex Ovechkin has a chance to break the all-time goals record. I think Leo said he's 20 goal points. Said he's 20 goals away.
Yeah.
Right now, he has. Right now, Alex Ovechkin has 377. He's 18 goals away. 18 goals away.
Oh, it,
Yes, he's 18 goals away. Wayne Gretzky all-time record is 294. Alex Ovechkin currently has, sorry, no, I said 294. 894. 894 is Wayne Gretzky's record. Alex Ovechkin currently has 877. Let's get that on the screen. What do y'all feel about Alex Ovechkin and him breaking this record? What would this record mean to DC sports? Where does he fall in the legendary totem pole of the DC sports totem pole? And just anything you want to say about the record right now and this massive moment.
the Great Eight is the greatest goal scorer of all time if he breaks the record because the record says so. Straight up. Nobody better than Alex Ovechkin. That includes the Sidney Crosbys of the world. That includes all of these other people that say Alex Ovechkin ain't number one. I think that this proves the point right here. He was going to break the unbreakable record that is now about to be broken by our very own Alex Ovechkin. And he been in here scoring goals here the whole time. Never played for another team.
Mm,
That's big.
yeah,
That puts him on the level of he might be DC's greatest legend as far as sports goes.
right.
He's
You
up
think
there. He's
that put
up
him
there.
up
He
there?
got Daryl Green up there with him, but Daryl Green might be past him because Daryl Green got a couple Super Bowls, but like that might put him up there because like number one in hockey history of goals, nobody scored more points than him. That doesn't
Yeah,
happen. That
I
doesn't happen
definitely,
very often.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree, man. Shout out to Alex Ovechkin. What you got on this big sign? What does this mean to DC? How? I mean, what do you got to say just in general about this Alex Ovechkin legendary moment?
I would say just in general, watching Ovi over the years, even working there in the building, seeing the excitement he brings to the fans, the atmosphere that he creates when he shows up, even when he was hurt, he would be in the building, you know, walking around, meeting the fans, waving, signing autographs. He used to come past me and my brother standing a lot. And I mean, my brother had more words with him than I did. All I had was really, hey, what's up? You know, like that or whatever. But Ovi is just an overall cool guy. And me knowing him it's not a better person who I think is more deserving of this of the accolade, the best in the game. It should be him. He works very hard. He believes in his teammates. He believes in himself, and that's why he's at where he's at right now.
And he stayed loyal through the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I
He's
agree.
definitely one of them.
I agree totally. Definitely. Okay. Let's move it right along. Let's move right along. Josh Harris. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference. We're going to have that up right now. I'm going to pull that press conference up because it is big words out of Josh Harris. And a lot of things are being misconstrued in the news media. And that is not exactly what I heard Josh Harris say. So before we even start the speculation over what was said, what was not said, let's go ahead to the tape and let's see if we could pull his interview that he did today, end of the year interview for the Washington Redskins owner. And he just mentioned a lot that was going on. It's a couple minutes. So we're gonna try to get as much of it in as we possibly can. Let me stop it here. Go ahead and put this thing up on the screen. You are watching Major Mondays here on the Nature Sports Network, man. This is ETA Road, Point B, Big Son in the building, all in the building. This is gonna be the Josh Harris interview to the players, the fans, and everybody in DC. Let's see what we got here.
Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Really excited to be here. Before we talk football, I just want to acknowledge the terrible tragedies that have occurred here in the DC area and then obviously in Philly and the loss of life. And my heart and the hearts of all of us here at the Commanders go out to the souls that were lost and their families. And then I just want to say thank you to the first responders who are helping really deal with this situation. So just take a moment. Now let's talk football. And by the way, Bobby, good to see you. Doug, thank you for being here. I'm honored. So first of all, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I wish we were in New Orleans. But that aside, I mean, obviously I couldn't be prouder of the team, the players, the fans, the coaching staff, front office. And so I just want to say thank you to Adam Peters and his staff for what you did, Coach Quinn and Dan, your staff. And then obviously it's a testament to your leadership, the culture that we built and where we ended up. NFC championship game, first time since 1991. And obviously acknowledge the players, Bobby, but also all the players, just showed up. It was a new situation and you guys killed it. And so just mentioning the captain, Zach, Terry, Jeremy, Bobby, and obviously Jaden and what he did. And lastly, I wanted to say on behalf of our ownership group, thank you, DMV. We couldn't have done it without you. You showed up, and thank you to our community of fans. I mean, I couldn't believe when I was out. I went to every game, and I'd see Commanders fans and faithful everywhere I went, and it just grew and grew and grew. And I can't tell you how much it means to all of us here, the team, to feel supported when they go to war, when we go to war, knowing that the fans are on our corner means a lot to us. So with that, future is bright, and I'll open it up to questions.
Josh, over here, John Kime, ESPN. So may as well get this one out of the way first. It's become a topic again, but what plans, if any, do you have with rebranding, whether it's name, jersey, and how does winning impact how you view that situation?
Yeah, so just to hit the name first, like we're focused on, we're back to saying, what we said all last year, which is focused on winning football games, on getting prepared for next year, on fixing up Ashburn and the stadium. We could talk about that. And then on engaging with the community of Washington. And so right now, and now in this building, the name Commanders means something. It means that it's about players who are love football, are great at football, hit hard, mentally tough, great teammates, and so it's really meaningful that name is growing in meaning. And so, but as far as rebranding and bringing our past, which obviously I grew up with, and all the Super Bowl championships and our future together, you're going to see us head back towards, honoring our past and bringing it together with our future.
And how does winning impact? How does this season and the winning impact how aggressive you may want to see the organization be when it comes to free agency and other moves this offseason?
Look, we're looking for commanders, and whether it be free agency, trades, draft, and obviously we have a lot of cap flexibility. We have a full slate of draft picks. Certainly we're going to be talking to other teams where we can find players that, are great at what they do and fit our culture and are great teammates and are situationally aware and hit hard and are tough. Like we're going to get them to come. And so, we're totally focused on improving our team from last year. And I think we're going to do that.
Josh, Ben Standing with The Athletic. To the point of improving on the team, you guys obviously with Jaden, it looks like you may have found a really good young quarterback going forward. That also comes with the opportunity with him on a rookie contract for the next couple of years. How do you kind of assess that opportunity? And do you think that leads to being more aggressive in free agency this year?
Yeah, we have a massive opportunity, and none of us are taking that lightly. We're all fully committed to continuing to build our team and be elite over the long term, right? And so, and obviously that that we understand that contract and those dynamics. And so, like I said, where we can find players that fit us and that we think are going to bring it, we're going to go after them. And so, I don't know how that translates to aggressiveness in free agency, where Adam and Dan are hard at work and they're going to advise me on that. But certainly, we're going to do everything we can to improve him.
And obviously, the way the season unfolded, getting all the way to NFC Championship game, you've said, hey, this is pretty obviously great, but also a bit surprising. You can tell us now, what were your realistic expectations going into this last year about what you guys thought you would actually do?
Look, I knew we were going to go. No, I'd say I predicted. No, look. Obviously, the season came out amazing and better than anyone expected, and no one could have sat where we were all sitting at the beginning of the season, where we had entirely, for the most part, a new coaching staff, a new front office. More than half the players were changed, but obviously, credit to Adam and Dan and their staffs for bringing everyone together, and credit to the players for making it happen on the field. And so, look, we got it. We've arrived, and that changes expectations. And I've lived through this before, and we welcome it. And we're just going to work harder and to create a situation where next year we win.
Josh, David Aldridge with The Athletic. In terms of a new facility, new stadium, I should say.
Yep.
What's your vision? What did you want in terms of? Do you want just a really great stadium, or do you see it as an opportunity to kind of really transform a neighborhood and have more bells and whistles in terms of restaurants, housing, all of those things that some other teams have tried to do?
Yeah, so I have 3 or 4 things in mind. I mean, obviously for me personally, I grew up with a great stadium, and I understand, what it's like to play in a stadium that, where it's hard for the visiting team to play, right? I mean, we've experienced different stadiums. Like I said, I've been to every game for the last 2 years, and I see differences. And so, the primary objective is to create a stadium that we're going to win in, because I think if we do that, and so there's all kinds of decisions that go into that. But I also think that we have a responsibility. When a city, takes land and utilizes it, for a stadium, right? They're taking it away from other things they could do. And so it's our responsibility to make it, an amazing economic development opportunity for where it is, and create a lot of jobs, and, help that area, right? And so as I think everyone knows, we're considering multiple jurisdictions, but in each case, right, those areas need help, need improvement, and so that's got to be part of it. And the cities themselves have to have their own input as to what they want. These are political processes, right? And they matter to the neighborhoods and to the greater areas. So we're right now in the middle of all that. And so I think it's both. But for me personally, I start with, like, we need to have a great place where our fans can show up and feel like, and as much as possible, we want that to be an advantage to our team in terms of winning on the field.
Does the success this season speed up a potential timeline? I know you got to go through jurisdictions, cities, city councils, state governments. So there's a certain friction there that you have to navigate that you can't do anything about. But do you think that you've gained a year or more in terms of timeline by the success of the season?
Yeah, look, anytime that you win on the field, I mean, we all now experienced what it was like here, right? And it was the reawakening of Washington football here in the DMV and everywhere, right? Because there's lots of people who grew up with the team that I grew up with, and so anytime that you get that reawakening, right, the population at large is supportive, right? And so there's no question that there's some momentum, and we would hope to capitalize on it. But I mean, obviously, we're in dialogue with jurisdictions, with Washington, with Maryland, and really they're what they want to do is a big part of it also. And so and every indication is that everyone is supportive, and so we're just gonna try to move it forward as fast as possible.
Hey Josh, Sam Fortier with the Washington Post. In November at a Bloomberg event with David Rubenstein, you said that DC would be the most politically viable because it would be the most accepted by all jurisdictions. I'm wondering if you still feel that way, and if you could explain your thinking there.
Yeah, look, I think that obviously the DMV, right, is 3 jurisdictions, and it turns out DC's in the middle. Plus, we, it's the location maybe, but plus because of the history, it's location that when we do surveys is the most acceptable. But there's a lot of things that go into this, and we play in Maryland right now. We have an amazing relationship with Maryland, and like I said, it's not just our decision. Like, the decision is about the specific regions and areas and states themselves, and DC itself. So like, we have a lot of dialogue going with everyone, and we're going to keep pushing forward. That I continue to kind of just be transparent about what the surveys say and how the area feels at large. But that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of support in Maryland, a lot of support in Virginia. There is. But obviously DC is kind of aligned with the history and happens to be the easiest place to get to for the most number of fans.
And I was going to ask you, how does that thinking, how does, the studies kind of inform your multi-jurisdiction discussions that you're going to have over the next weeks and months?
Yeah, look, these are very, complicated things to decide, right? So you have zoning, you have real estate, you have what you can build, what you're allowed to build, and site planning. And so certainly it's an important part of the mix, but it's not the only factor.
Josh Barry for Luka from the Washington Post. This is a public-private partnership you're talking about with the stadium. Do you expect to pay for the actual building yourself and get government to help with land and infrastructure, or do you expect to get public money for the building too?
Yeah, look, obviously we're having a lot of discussions right now, and it would be, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to get in front of the governments that we're talking to, the Maryland government, DC government, PG County. I mean, I think it just wouldn't be appropriate, but I appreciate the question.
and just kind of a minutia thing. Dan Quinn at the end of the season talked a little bit about your kind of week to week input with Adam and him going through the process. He mentioned Friday calls. Wherever you were around the world, you were always available. And what do you get out of that? What was the process like, and what sort of what's the advantage for you to having such?
Yeah, I'm just learning, to be honest with you, from people who've been kind of good at this for a long time. And obviously very happy with what we've got here, and but ultimately, right, to a large extent, I have professionals running the team, running the front office, and so I'm somewhat deferring to them. But obviously, ultimately, right, I have to make sure that I understand, what's going on enough that if there was something that I disagree with, I would, involve myself. But right now, very happy with the leadership I have in place.
Josh, Steve Weiner from the Associated Press. Following up on John's question earlier, is it safe to say the commander's name is around just to stay? Is that safe to say from your standpoint?
Yes. And we're actually, I think it's now being embraced by our team, by our culture, by our coaching staff. And so, we're going with that.
And I'm curious, how did your experience kind of dealing with the city of Philadelphia and Comcast and all that with the arena kind of affect your stadium thoughts here? And obviously you're dealing with 3 jurisdictions here, maybe 2 there. How did that sort of affect or maybe help you prepare for this?
Look, anytime you go, like our North Star, it really is the same approach, which is ultimately like, what's the best, like I said, there's a lot of factors, but what's the best thing to do for the underlying population, kind of. And in the case of Philly, we ended up in an amazing situation where we're developing an arena, in the sports complex in Philly for the Sixers. We're developing the Center City in Philly. We have Comcast as a partner. We're getting hockey and basketball. So I think that we ended up with an amazing situation and for Philly, right? And obviously it's a little more complicated here because it's multi-jurisdictional, but we're keeping our eye on the same thing and trying to balance everything and do what we think is the best thing for the city, for the overall region, and the fans and the team. And that's how we're going to think about it. But it was a good education.
Hey, Josh, Eric Flack from WUSA 9. Emails from the city show that you personally called Chuck Schumer trying to get the RFK bill passed, and that you personally called with Jason Wright, Wes Moore, to try and get Maryland to back off. How do you look at somebody from Maryland and say you're seriously still considering Maryland when you seem to be so laser focused, including that picture in the Oval Office, on a DC option?
Look, I would say that Maryland's been amazing. Governor Moore and his team have been amazing. And, actually what we were trying to do is get DC to the table. So I want to make sure that we're clearing up this misconception. DC was not at the table because they didn't own the land. They didn't have control of the land. So what we wanted to do and what we accomplished doing was to allow for the federal government to transfer control of the land to DC, right? Now, DC has to decide what it wants to do. It's got a lot of flexibility to do whatever it wants with the land. And Governor Moore was incredible in terms of saying, we went to Governor Moore and we said, look, we just want DC at the table. And he said, look, I'm on board for that. But I want to make sure that if that's a direction that DC wants to go and you want to go, that you take care of Maryland also. And of course we were going to do that anyway. And so I think that there's no nothing has been decided, and we're going down both paths at once. And that was the whole conversation. So all that happened so far, and I was working pretty hard to get DC to the table because I thought it was the right thing to do. And now we got the hard work of figuring out the multitude of specifics that you need to figure out when you're doing something like this. And DC really has to decide what it wants to do.
Days after the RFK land became official in DC hands, you made in your ownership group up with the Sixers made a pretty surprising about face and reached a 50-50 partnership with Comcast on an alternative arena agreement there, as opposed to you financing a downtown arena.
Yep.
Are those two things separate, or can you see them as intertwined? And if you're saving money in Philly, does that mean there's more money for a Commander Stadium here?
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, first of all, they're not intertwined at all. They're totally separate situations. And obviously, you know, we have the ability to finance both the arena and the stadium. They're totally separate situations. And so, and listen, ultimately, deals, you know, about face. I mean, deals kind of come. Ultimately, if you keep your eye on what's the best thing for the city, negotiations don't happen in a smooth way, and then you got to be able to pivot and willing to pivot, and when you think it's the right thing to do. And so we ended up in a great place in Philly, and I'm hoping we end up in a great place, and I'm very, very confident we'll end up in a great place here.
Mr. Harris, Mark Seagraves, NBC Washington. And I understand why you don't want to get ahead of the conversation on the proposals coming from Maryland and DC, but from your point of view, DC has several different stadiums with several different models, business models. Do you see a stadium in DC, a business model that you prefer? Do you prefer to own the stadium yourself? Would you want to play in a stadium that is owned by the jurisdiction?
Yeah, again, I appreciate all these questions, and I'm going to go back to my same answer, which is that really it would be DC and Maryland are deciding what they want, right? And then we're going to react to that and let those conversations play out in confidence. And all I can tell you is that we're really hard at work right now trying to move the process forward with everyone and try to figure out, again, an amazing place where opposing teams fear to come and our fans love to come and our players love to come, and then do that in the context of, really improving the area where we're building and creating a lot of jobs and economic development. So that's what we're going to do. But I can't really get into the specifics. The cities have to, dictate, when and how we talk about some of those details. And then obviously I'm happy to be available and react to them, but that's really the appropriate way for me to move forward on all this.
Do you have a timeline on when you would like to have proposals in hand and make a decision and break ground? Can you update us on that timeline for you?
Yeah, I think we've talked about being done in 2030 as being a base case. We're going to sort of stick with that and not get into, the specifics of the timeline, because again, we're reacting to a political process. And, look, you should listen to the jurisdictions themselves. They've given some hint as to what they think. And, I'm listening to them like you are and reacting, and we'll keep up. And so I'm going to let them, drive the conversation on timing and process and financial details, because that's the way I think it should be.
My last key. More questions. Can you just what do you say to taxpayers about justifying why taxpayers should in any way fund, regardless of the jurisdiction, building a stadium for a professional team?
Yeah, again, I think that by and large, anything we do will create massive economic opportunity for that area, from thousands of jobs to, a ton of economic opportunity moving forward, construction jobs, and a lot of development opportunity around it. And so that'll all be in the mix, right? And I understand that question, right? And I've been through this. And the cities are going to make that case, and then we're going to stay behind the cities and allow them to make the case they want to make. But certainly, that will all be. It's going to have to make sense for the people living there, right? And the communities themselves, of course, no question.
Hey, Jess, Scott Abraham, ABC7. Obviously, this time last year, you officially announced that Dan Quinn was going to be your head coach. So quite the 12 months for you. What are you most proud of over these 12 months?
What I'm most proud of, I mean, obviously, there's a lot, honestly, that I'm proud of. But first of all, the leadership. I think I made the right leadership choices. And, Mark Klaus now in the building, in the business, we're going to be a lead on the business side. But I really feel like, as I said to you then, my most important 3 jobs were picking a coach, picking a GM, and then picking someone to lead the business. And I feel great about where we are and the leadership we have in place. Secondly, I feel super proud, obviously, of how excited and happy the Washington community is and the reawakening of Washington football. And that's everything from like how we played on the field and, what we did on the field. And really, obviously we won 4 games last year, and to be going to the NFC Championship, how can you not be proud of that? I mean, I'm very proud of that and very appreciative of the players and everyone who was involved in that. But also, listen, I wandered around. I made it a point of meeting a lot of fans in the stadium, outside of the stadium, and people are super happy here. And, people were literally crying in bars, and, grown men, grown women, and it's really helped the happiness and the excitement. And there's very few things in the DMV that unites the whole DMV, and the Washington Commanders is like front of the list. And so that's probably the thing I feel most proud about, that people here are appreciative of Washington football again, like I felt when I was growing up. And so let's keep it going.
Got time for one more?
Clearly, there's a lot of talk with the new stadium, but what about a training facility? Are you committed to keeping it here in Ashburn? Obviously, you invested in a brand new grass field. What are your thoughts on maybe building a new training facility in a different jurisdiction, or do you have plans to stay here in Ashburn?
Yeah, so first of all, we're going to do a lot of things in the offseason to make players' lives better, to make coaches' lives better, to make front office lives better. And obviously, whether it's the wet area, the weight room, our indoor facility, you're going to see a lot of changes here. And you're going to see a lot of changes in the stadium. We're going to continue to build on, the $75 million we had earmarked. So that'll be north of 100. We got a whole bunch of plans to help the premium areas, to continue to build infrastructure and to continue to make the upper deck better. A lot of stuff. And so, but here, really, we're going to focus right now on the stadium itself. And, and I think the players like to be here. Coaches like to be here. That's not to say that we won't revisit it over time, but we're focused on fixing this place up right now. We're certainly, going to look at that. But like right now, the big project is the stadium. And, and so right now we're going to spend a lot of money trying to make this place better for the people that work, live, and play here.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. Next time I need a better chair. Almost. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That was Josh Harris. he said a whole lot. So if you guys were tuned in this whole time, man, you got a chance to tune
Yes,
in to
indeed.
the press conference. So
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I
Yes,
think we should
indeed.
go ahead and
So
wrap it up.
yeah. So that's about it. We're gonna go. We got a Redskins name. If anything, y'all want to say anything before we wrap it up on the name?
Nah.
Okay, we all set. We all set. All right, so let's go to final thoughts.
Basically,
Final thought.
my final thought is been a pretty big week in sports. And tune in to Score the Fight on February 22nd because Riyadh season is back for Better Be versus Beevil headlining, but that's a stat card. I want y'all guys to tune in. So those are my final thoughts. That's all.
What you got, big son, on the final thoughts? Major Mondays. We still ain't got big son? Ain't got big son?
Big Son probably sleep by now, man. You know this past Big Son bedtime.
Oh,
Man.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, my final thought is, despite everything that went on, I do think that the Redskins name is something that we got to look at. You got Josh Harris and the Redskins. We talked about the name, so that's something else I wanted to dive into. You got the NFL draft. We talked all about that, the Capitals and Ovi and everything. It's been a big year in sports thus far for the Redskins. Big way to line it up and drop it in. You know what I mean? So I just want that to continue here on the Nature's Network. And shout out to everybody out there here that's been rocking with us tonight. We're gonna let y'all go. And see y'all, I think, with our next show. I guess we'll come to y'all again next week or another time throughout, you know. But without further ado, this is Major Mondays. And see y'all next time here on the Nature Sports Network.
YouTube.com/@TheNatureDC. Subscribe today.